Are you going with me, or are you helping me pack? You're not going to help me pack? Where are you going to go? You're going to go up there? Get there, quick! Get there, quick! Get there, quick! Hey guys, it's John of Figurative Arc. Welcome to my channel. I'm a visual artist. I'm going to be showing you photography from Crete that I took on a recent trip and talk about my spiritual odyssey, if you will, of my hike to the Cyclops cave on Crete. Now, I started this hike at Suya on E4 trail that you'll see on the south. And this trail has some stunning views of the sea. And also encountered all kinds of goats and sheep and things along the way that were really, really cool along this trail. This regional trail then breaks off, and you can take this side trail called the Polyphemus Cave, which is a reference to the Cyclops in the myth called the Odyssey. And we're about to go into that cave right now. Polyphemus was a Cyclops, a one-eyed monster, and Odysseus was a war hero that was coming back from the Trojan War, and his men landed in here, and they went into this cave, and they found food. Now, this is the myth, but this is the cave that inspired the myth again. Instead of extending the law of hospitality, the Cyclops started eating Odysseus's men, and then cleverly, Odysseus kind of gets him drunk and puts out his eye. Then they escape by tying themselves to the sheep underneath that were in the cave. But this is a really cool place, and when I went in here, what this really reminded me of my own little odyssey was when I read this as a child, and the lesson of this when Odysseus escapes and then he starts bragging about his escape to the Cyclops, who is now blind, and that incurs retribution by the god Poseidon, according to the myth. I remember that story and that lesson, and being in this cave really reminded me of what it's like to be a child, of everything is magical and wonderful and unseen. I just started thinking about as an odyssey of being able to, now as an adult, fight for that child, to fight for that inner child within me of still seeing the world as magical and not to give that up, not to be mediocre and lonely and stifling, but explore through art and continue to push myself, whether it's photography or painting, like you're seeing here. So that's really what it reminded me of, really fighting for that child within me to keep it alive by just having new experiences. So that was kind of my spiritual odyssey, and I have some concrete ideas of what that looks like. What does that look like for you? Do you find that a challenge to fight for that inner child so we're not cynical and we still see the world as magical? Maybe you've taken some journeys that have been important. Hope you'll share that in the comments. Consider liking, really helps the channel, and subscribing. And join me for the next video as I show you photography from Crete, from the island of Spili Longa, which was a former leper colony and popularized in the best-selling novel The Island. I hope you'll join me for that and my thoughts about how I reacted emotionally to that journey. Until then, take good care and toodaloo.